Hello everyone, this is the CRT Productions and well, let's see, this is my X58 rig, and it's been a while since we saw this thing, hasn't it? Well, we're going to be seeing it right now. And since the last time we saw it, it has undergone some upgrades, as you might have guessed. So pretty much every part of this thing has been upgraded since the last time we talked about it. And we're going to be talking about those upgrades in this video, and we're going to be doing one more very important upgrade to the performance of this system. We're not going to be changing any components, but we are going to be upgrading the status of their cleanliness, and that is the graphics card. I have not cleaned the graphics card that I put in here. So let's go ahead and talk about those components and see what exactly has been done to this rather remarkable system, if I do say so myself. Why do I film my video out here beside this abandoned house at 480p? Well, it's very reminiscent to the way I govern my Discord server. If you've ever been there, you'll know that there are some naughty channels, some naughty things flying around out here as well, very similar to the Discord server once again. You may see some very interesting retro technology, some old computer stuff, but perhaps our number one draw here at the CRT Shack is our number one rule, and that is, well, there aren't any rules really, LOL. So, that's right, so I believe the last time we talked about this thing, it had an Intel Core i7-9775. That has been upgraded to a Xeon W3690, if I'm getting the numbers right there. It's one of the better Xeons that you can get for the platform. Oh boy, let's not do that. We've got 24 gigabytes maxed out of DDR3 RAM. I believe it's 1333 megahertz or something like that. The only thing that hasn't been upgraded in this thing is the power supply in the case, obviously. I reinstalled same operating system. That's the only thing that's not period appropriate technically. But it is old. It's Windows 10 1507, first release of Windows 10. SSD is a Intel, I think it's an X25. Old X25 160 gigabyte drive. I guess I should have said it was all period appropriate, of course, because what's the fun in putting an old graphics card in there like this? Well, it's kind of fun. This is a GTX 295, but yeah, it doesn't perform all that well in anything more recent than 2010. So I put a GTX 980 Ti in there, of course, and you know what else besides the very best 980 Ti? Of course, I'll open it up here real quick so you can see all these beautiful components. So there they all are in there. You can't see it too well, it's a little dark, but yes, the Zotac GTX 980 Ti Amp Edition, one of the best triple fan GTX 980 Ti's you can get. Still got the old Corsair CPU cooler, as you could probably imagine. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we're looking at here. CPU wise, we've got a Xeon W3690. Right now it is sitting at 23 degrees. Maximum temperature it's reached was 32 degrees. So, not too bad on idle there. The hottest I've ever gotten this thing up to was when I was rendering a video in Premiere Pro. It got up to, I think, 53 degrees. So, yeah, the CPU cooler may not be the beefiest in the world, but it is handling this as the old Xeon, which is all we really are asking of it here in this system. So, here you go. Using a maximum of 130 watts, which is what it's rated at. It is clocked at 1600 megahertz, doesn't clock down too low. The Intel speed step technology is enabled, but it only gets down to 1603 megahertz when it's idle like this. Up to 3.4, but obviously we haven't done anything. I am going to launch a video game here in a second and see what we can get this thing to do. The 980 Ti here, you can see hotspot temperature is pretty warm, considering it has done literally nothing so far but just display a 1080p image here, which is nothing for a 980 Ti. So I'm going to go ahead and launch CSGO, and I'm going to play a little bit of it. And as it warms up, the GPU eventually ramps the fans up to maximum speed, and it does get very warm. It'll get up to like 80 degrees. Gradually though, it won't do it immediately. There's not anything wrong with this card, it's perfectly fine. It's just never been cleaned before. I got this card online, I believe on Goodwill's online auction site, and yeah, it's pretty obvious that it had never been cleaned before. So I'm going to play CSGO a little bit and demonstrate that. We'll tab out back to CPU ID, and yeah, by the way, yes, I do use this keyboard as my main keyboard. If you have anything to say about that, please leave it in the comments. Alright, so here we are in a match. Turn this down a little bit. And since I'm not able to play yet, I'm just spectating. Been on the server for maybe like 20 seconds or so. Let's just see really quickly what the GPU is up to. Yeah, hotspot temperature 73, went up to 80 degrees already. So really not even that gradual. I just launched the game and went right into a match. I've been in the match, maybe 30 seconds now, and it's already jumped up to 80 degrees on the hotspot. So this thing definitely needs to be repasted, and yeah, obviously needs to be just cleaned out overall. Let's go in here, play around, and see how it goes. All right, I got pretty much destroyed there. So let's see. Hasn't ramped the fans up yet, but this thing is hot. 85 degrees on the hotspot. So yeah, obviously way hotter than this GPU should be getting playing this game. So yeah, and it's getting 170, 180 frames, depending on what part of the map you're looking at. Obviously, smoke on the screen there, it just barely dips under 150. So yeah, performs well, just needs to be cleaned, obviously. So power the computer off, and we're gonna get that sucker out of there and get it cleaned up. Oh, the Zotac. There it is, right there. This is the Zotac GTX 980 Ti Amp Edition, 6GB GDR5 graphics card. And so, it is warm, not alarmingly, but it's warm. So, we'll go ahead and get this sucker cleaned up here. Well, it is as I expected. Everything's pretty good. It's not really all that dirty. It just has the typical little bit of dirt around the edges there. Dirt, dust, whatever. But the big problem, of course, is this stuff right here. This dried up stuff here. That wasn't doing anything to cool anything off. So, yeah, there you go. Wasn't really that dirty. Just needs repasting mainly. And I'll get it cleaned up nicely. And this thing should run pretty darn good. Alright, so I just got done splurting a bunch of that Arctic MX6 out on this thing, and now we are going to get it reinstalled and see how it performs with a good repasting. I probably put a little bit too much, put a little bit more than what was necessary anyway on it, so we'll see how that works out. Alright, so I'll go ahead and try this again. I wasn't recording the first time I tried it. So that's awkward. So, let's see. We're starting out here with the GPU a little bit warmed up from before, starting out at 52 degrees. Now I'll go ahead and launch the game again, try to see if we're recording this time. Looks like we are. Can't be a CRT Productions video without a good old-fashioned screw-up.
I predicted in the middle, bro. I'm actually you need to clap for that one. Okay, here's my clap back in. Let me clap with you at that cheek. Yo, you look good, man. You need a reward. Oh, it's stashing it.
This server is a bit more active than the previous one I was on. Well, after that wonderful round, let's see how that GPU is faring. Looks like the hotspot still got up to 80 degrees, so yeah, this thing runs warm. But you'll notice that the fan is barely ramping up. It's up to 1,000 RPM, which is not all that much. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have to put MSI Afterburner on here and set up a more aggressive fan curve. Hey, that's my gun. He stole my gun.
God, I'm actually him. What the fuck? True. Come here.
Alright, and just in case anyone doubts my abilities to game on this keyboard, we'll just go ahead and show you a round of me playing on this keyboard. Playing professional CSGO there. Flashing your teammates. Let's see. There we go. Got that. A little bait there. That didn't work. That didn't work out very well. Alright, well, I think that's enough of that. But, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our final results here. CPU, the hottest CPU got was 44 degrees, so, you know, no worries there. Intel SSD, the GTX 980 Ti got up to 81 degrees on the hot spot, but 68, that's pretty reasonable, 68 degrees. That's not too bad. Fans did ramp up a little bit eventually. So, you know, there you go. Started out around 51 degrees, got up to 68. But it was holding pretty steady there at the end. I played several rounds. They didn't go very well, so, you know, probably cut them out of the video. But there you have it. That's, you know, that's just how it is. I played one round before, and it was already getting up even hotter than that in the 70s for the overall, you know, package temperature there. So, you know, as always, join the Discord. We got some new messages here in the Discord. Always a lot of, you know, excitement here. And, you know, you have that going on as well. Got a new member here. Oh yeah, that's great. Joined at 1:12 a.m. I'm sure that's a lot of you know, totally real people here in the server. So, you know, always a treat here to CRT Productions Discord server, CRT Shack. I encourage you to join. If you're a real person, we could use more of those. So there you have it. That's the X58 rig there in 2023, and this keyboard, because why not? All right. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there.